Mosaic, a daily news program from Link TV, presents a selection of news reports from independent and state-controlled broadcasters from throughout the Middle East.
Dear viewers, now to the breaking news. A massive explosion destroyed a hotel in downtown Baghdad. Recent reports indicate that the explosion killed and wounded a large number of people. Journalists who were at the site report that it was an enormous explosion. It destroyed the Mount Lebanon Hotel and damaged neighboring homes. Scattered bodies can be seen amid the rubble, and they are currently being removed. The United States forces closed off the explosion site. Different media outlets have varied reports on the number of casualties. However, recent reports confirm the death of 6 people, with many bodies still buried under the rubble. Eyewitnesses report that immediately after the explosion, vehicles parked near the hotel caught on fire. The search and rescue mission is still in a state of chaos. The explosion occurred in the downtown Baghdad district of El Karada, an area crowded with residents. Again, the latest reports confirm that 6 people were killed in the explosion, and a large number of bodies are still under the rubble of the hotel, which was completely destroyed due to this explosion. These are images of the hotel site, which have turned into rubble. Iraqi citizens are rushing to rescue the wounded, and ambulances are arriving to the area to transport the injured people. Saudi Arabia and Syria rejected foreign-imposed reforms in the region. These statements were made during talks between Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and Saudi Crown Prince Abdullah bin Abdulaziz in Riyadh. The discussion focused on Arab and world affairs as well as the United States initiative for the Middle East. United States forces deployed one of its battalion forces to Mali under the framework of Washington's campaign to fight terrorism. A United States official who is responsible for the desert trainings in the center of Mali said this is a part of American plans to look for Al-Qaeda links with African forces. United States forces believe that terrorist activities among refugees, especially those from Western Africa, may be eroding, which may lead to the elimination of these activities. Washington says that the international anti-terror training is helping many countries to protect their borders and strengthen internal security against terrorism. The new Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, said that strategic foreign challenges to the country will remain, especially regarding the Middle East and Iraq. Lavrov said to resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, they must continue to follow the roadmap, while stressing that the United Nations must play a role in Iraq. In a press conference in Moscow, Lavrov stated that Russian diplomacy will continue its leniency, seeking cooperation and steering away from conflicts. The Afghani President Mohammad Karzai held talks with the United States Secretary of State Colin Powell in the Afghani capital of Kabul, where the American Secretary visited on his Asian tour. The talks centered on both countries' efforts to eliminate terrorism. Powell's visit comes after United States forces announced a new campaign in Afghanistan against the Taliban and Al-Qaeda in southern and eastern Afghanistan. A videotape was released showing a spy plane flying over Afghanistan a year before the September 11th events. A tall man is considered to be Osama bin Laden. The videos, which were transferred to the United States Central Intelligence Agency, the CIA, show Al-Qaeda fighters participating in military trainings. The video was taken in Afghanistan in the fall of 2000 by a spy plane that was monitoring Al-Qaeda military training. China and France participated in their first joint naval maneuvers 4 days before presidential elections in Taiwan. Taiwan is demanding its independence from China. It is the biggest maneuver conducted by China with a foreign nation. Chinese and French helicopters trained in landing on military aircraft carrier on the eastern Chinese coast. These trainings at the Qingdao base, which is 1,250 kilometers north of Taiwan, are considered the largest maneuvers by China with foreign forces. The Chinese Foreign Ministry denied any connection between these trainings and the elections in Taiwan. Clashes erupted between Albanians and Serbs in the area of Kalagavitz, near Pristina, as hundreds of Albanians tried to force out Serbs who were blocking the road leading to Bargadonia, near the area of Kalakavitz, which is about 2 kilometers away from Pristina. In the beginning, Albanians clashed with soldiers from the International Peacekeeping Forces in Albania, NATO forces, police officers, and the United Nations forces who were trying to keep them from clashing with Serbian demonstrators. Northeastern cities in the United States were covered in a white blanket of snow after a storm hit at the end of their winter season. The thick snow covered New York, Boston, and other cities, closing a number of streets and causing many car accidents, especially on the weekend. However, the snowstorm did not prevent some people from going about their daily lives or even enjoying ice cream.
Israel killed at least 4 Palestinians in 2 missile raids into a Gaza refugee camp on Wednesday, pursuing what it called a relentless offensive against Palestinian militants. Israeli military action against militants and their leaders unfolded on Tuesday when 3 helicopter missiles hit the house of an Islamic Jihad commander in Gaza City. 2 Palestinians died, 1 a militant. The commander escaped with minor injuries. Fighting flared in the Rafah refugee camp after the 2 airstrikes as Israeli troops backed by tanks moved in and demolished several Palestinians' houses. Schools in the densely populated Rafah refugee district sent children home for fear of more air raids.
In Cairo,
the Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak received the Israeli Foreign Minister Sylvan Shalom and delivered a letter from the Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. At the end of the meeting, Foreign Minister Shalom said that the meeting was very warm, confirming that the Israeli-Egyptian relations will enter a new mutually beneficial phase. The Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak met with Israeli journalists after meeting with Shalom and said that he had reached an agreement with Israel on steps to maintain security on the borders between Egypt and Gaza if Israel withdraws from there. The steps include measures to prevent the smuggling of arms through the borders. President Mubarak said that the Palestinians must protect the borders from their side, while Egyptians will protect their side of the borders with Gaza.
حين تعمل مصر على حماية الشطر المصري من الحدود مع قطاع غزة ونلفت عناية السادة المشاهدين إلى أننا
We would like to inform our audience that we are waiting for the arrival of a videotape of an interview of President Mubarak by an Israeli journalist. We hope to air it during this newscast.
وبعد اللقاء مع الرئيس المصري حسني مبارك عقد وزيراء الخارجية الإسرائيلي
After meeting the Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, the Israeli Foreign Minister Sylvan Shalom and his counterpart Ahmed Maher held a press conference in which the Egyptian minister confirmed that his country is determined to continue advancing the peace process. Minister Shalom said that he felt that the Egyptians are extremely interested that the peace process with the Palestinians is successful.
The President expressed his appreciation of the message and our desire to work for the implementation of peace between the Palestinians and Israel on the basis of the roadmap and the determination of Egypt to help in this direction.
The president was interested about the coming future and about the process that we should have with the Palestinians. He was informed by the meeting that might take place between Prime Minister Sharon and Abu Allah next week, and about the new plan of the Prime Minister. We were talking about how to build an infrastructure of peace in all the levels. And it means to have better understanding and to try to have common projects with the Palestinians and with the Egyptians as well.
والآن سيداتي وسادتي عودة إلى زيارة رئيس الخارجية الإسرائيلية سيلفان شالوم إلى القاهرة.
In Cairo, the Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak said that Egypt agrees with the Israeli unilateral separation plan as long as it is in the framework of the roadmap. He said so in a special interview conducted by the Israeli reporter Odey Garnot of Channel 1.
الرئيس مبارك.
موضوع ان مصر توافق او لا توافق على الانسحاب ده هذا امر يعني الفلسطينيين لكن طالما ان الانسحاب حيكون في اطار تنفيذ
Whether Egypt agrees with the withdrawal or not is of concern to the Palestinians. However, as long as the withdrawal is in the framework of the roadmap, then this will be a relief to everyone. We consider this a very important matter. We talked with the Palestinians about maintaining security in Gaza after the Israeli forces withdrawal, which will create a vacuum. They stated that they have the capability to enforce security and order in Gaza. The issue of the borders you are talking about is covered by the peace agreement between us.
لأن الاتفاقية معاهدة بيننا وبينكم وبالمناسبة دي 25 سنة على المعاهدة دي وده شيء الحقيقة احنا بنعتز بمعاهدة السلام.
By the way, it has been 25 years since this agreement was signed, and truly we are proud of this peace agreement and very happy about it. This agreement has an article that says that a police force should be placed on the borders to maintain the security if Israel withdraws from there. Since we don't want problems to arise between the two sides, we may need to add something to the agreement. I think that our Israeli brothers agree on this. We can deploy border patrol forces to maintain security on our side so we can make sure that there will be no mistakes.
اللي هي معنية بتأمين الحدود عشان نضمن إن ما يحصلش أخطاء.
One last question, Mr. President. Will you meet with Prime Minister Ariel Sharon soon?
I am not opposed in principle to meeting Mr. Sharon. We have been talking a lot on the phone recently. Our objective is to resume negotiations to calm the people on both sides, which may reduce the violent operations, killings, and bloodshed on both sides. Both Israelis and Palestinians are dying. The Palestinians attack, then the Israelis respond by killing Palestinians. Then the Palestinians retaliate with another attack, killing Israelis. The situation is at a standstill, and that is why I spoke with the Israeli Prime Minister. We must put an end to this situation. They must sit at the negotiation table once, twice, and 3 times. Of course, negotiations take a long time. After the resumption of negotiations, there will be more opportunities for communication.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President.
Moving to